everybody, hope you're staying safe out there. I'm Sarah, I work with land protection here at Berks Nature. And today we're out on our woodland trail here at the Nature Place in Angelica Park. And we're doing some land stewardship work today and focusing on removing invasive garlic mustard. So usually when we come on the woodland trail, we want to encourage visitors to leave no trace and practice staying on the trail. And this has become even more important in light of how crowded our trails are right now, as we're getting out and enjoying the spring weather. So today we're out here for garlic mustard because we want to be managing our forest to be as healthy and diverse as possible. So if you look around the forest right now, we can start to see some things, some green coming in, even though none of the trees are really leafing out yet. So what we can see so far is mostly invasive species. So these invasive species like honeysuckle and on the forest floor, the garlic mustard, they have a head start. They come out right away in the spring and get a leg up above our native species that are a little bit later coming out. And so this is one reason why we want to be managing garlic mustard. And so right now, this time of year, what's happening in a healthy forest is that we're seeing native ephemeral spring wildflowers start to come up out of the forest floor. And these initial flowers give the chance for our native pollinators to find some life and food. And so we also want to be making sure that the forest floor stays healthy so that our native tree species and shrubs have the chance to grow and be strong and alive. And so invasive species cause issues when they come out and they overcrowd, and we can have invasive species take over the forest floor and prevent our native life from getting that foothold, whether that's our ephemeral wildflowers or native tree species. So we have a lot of garlic mustard here at the Nature Place. Angelica Park is an urban park, and it's such a little refuge in the city, but it also has had a lot of different experiences with people over the past couple hundred years. And so we're actively working to restore the functioning of this forest here in Angelica Park. And one way we do that is by getting rid of the garlic mustard. Okay, so we're here in Angelica Park and we're gonna pull some garlic mustard now. So like I said, usually we want to leave no trace and stay on the trail, but we're in active relationship with long-term stewardship of the forest here. And so we've been a part of this ecosystem for a long time already, and we have a role to play today. So this forest in particular behind me used to be a quarry, and the trail actually was a road. So the history of this area is that it had been full of honeysuckle and a lot of other plants, and some good, some bad. And 2 years ago, our senior ecologist Larry Lloyd came in and worked with some volunteers and workers to remove a lot of that invasive honeysuckle. And when we took that out, it brought the sun back into the forest floor, which had positive and negative effects. So the positive is that it brought back our native ephemeral spring flowers like this bloodroot. But then the negative is that that sun also provided energy for the garlic mustard. So to tackle garlic mustard or another invasive species, you need just a couple things. You need yourself and your effort and energy and time. Second, you need a plan and a strategy. So like I said, we have a long-term plan for restoring function to this forest, and we want to focus our energy. We come and remove garlic mustard every year for a long time over the years, and we want to focus early in the spring while the garlic mustard is still small. If we wait later in the summer when it's really, really tall and has already seeded, then it's too late. So when you're focusing your invasive management, you want to try and get to the plants before they produce a seed. Otherwise, there's no point for the rest of that year. Another thing you need, if some people like to use gardening gloves, sometimes you like to rest your knees, however you can be comfortable and efficient. And then the last thing you need is a bag or a bucket. Garlic mustard is a type of plant that once it's pulled up, if you just throw it on the ground, it will continue to grow. So we get a black bag that light can't get through that can really kill the garlic mustard. And then when it's completely dead, then you can compost it. So when you're identifying garlic mustard, there's really one thing to keep in mind. We want to make sure that we're not pulling up the violet flower, which I don't have any here right now to show you, but sometimes if you're not careful, you can mix up garlic mustard and violet. So garlic mustard is, it's bunchy, It's very soft. It has a certain taste, which you'll learn about later. And it's pretty easy to identify this time of year because it's one of the only things that's actually up and growing. And it has a long, skinny taproot. So to pick it, you want to really try and just gently kind of reach your fingers in and hold the taproot, and then pull it out slowly and completely. Anything that you leave behind will continue to grow. And so you really can't you can't like completely win this battle, but if we keep showing up over and over again in strategic areas, over time we can really reduce the amount of garlic mustard. And so in this area over here, you really can see again why it's so important. We have some garlic mustard that's crowding out our bloodroot over here. Also over here there's some. And so another thing to keep in mind when you're pulling it is to be really careful and mindful that you're only pulling up the garlic mustard and being gentle of our native species that are growing up around it. And so we always need volunteers here at the Nature Place to help us with invasive management, and you can come join us. You can also do this in your backyard if you see it around you. And then after you've pulled it up, just always remember, you want to kind of shake out the soil so we're not taking any of the good soil with us. Throw your garlic mustard into the bag or the bucket. And then I like to cover up the soil, again, just a little bit. We don't want to be leaving a lot of soil exposed and able to be eroded away. And then happy garlic mustard picking. You can do this endlessly for hours this time of year.